Again, it's the three seniors, Kobe Stewart, Jamari Harvey, and Kaleb Scott, here on senior day and the final day of the regular season. Scott and Isaiah Richards will match up here at the tip-off. And for one final time here in the Templeton Center this season, Gardner-Webb wins the tip, and it's Daryl Simmons the second, as probably the best point guard on point guard matchup you'll see all year in the Big South. Mitzi and Simmons.
Certainly one of them. Excellent matchup, like you just mentioned.
A pair of sophomores as well who have had some breakout years this year. Jacob Hudson, another freshman. Down low, Richards, a size mismatch, but couldn't convert over the top of Jamari Harvey. In PC coming in, they've won 3 out of their last 4. Those 3 wins all on the road. Second longest road winning streak in Division I history. Kaleb Scott rises up, and this one tapped out by Richards. A goaltend, the first 2 for the 6th-year senior in Kaleb Scott.
Still don't allow you to come up through there, do they? Knock that one back. That was the reason that ball fell in is because it had so much rotation on it. It's an excellent contest by Gardner-Webb there, but a nice finish in a nice soft roll there for 30 in blue.
And Daryl Simmons started at the point guard. He's joined by Anthony Selden, Jacob Hudson, Jermaine Mann, and Isaiah Richards, the big man down low.
Corey Mincy, excellent on-ball defender, as you can see early. He'll have his hands full today, but he's a good one.
5 to shoot it. Man, the graduate student, off a 1-foot, hand in the face, does not matter. Kaleb Scott says, oh, okay.
Yeah, PC can live with that all day. If they're shooting when the shot clock is going off, turn around, fadeaway jump shots. Nice make, but you don't want to live on that.
Looked at the Bulldogs older lineup, still older here with the 3 seniors. Kobe Stewart, one of them, as he converts the bucket on the other end, joined by the sophomore Mincy and the freshman and Iverson King.
Great distribution by 4, Corey Mincy, and a nice quick finish by Kobe Stewart.
And Daryl Simmons from Detroit, Michigan, averaged just 2 points a ball game last year as a freshman. As they're going to trap him. Backdoor Hudson, denied by Jamari Harvey. Kick out. Man was wide open. He'll stop, pop, and miss the layup.
2 bunnies that Gardner-Webb has missed that they should have made. That was a defensive breakdown by PC. Somebody wasn't guarded. Nobody got to get back in rotation.
That's 2 missed layups, KB, on this end for the running
2
Bulldogs.
bunnies, yes, sir.
Backdoor to Scott. A lot of contact. Now Kaleb will make his first trip to the charity stripe today.
He's got to adjust on that end. Both teams actually do. Giving up too much stuff right at the rim. Combination of pretty good offense starting to occur and shoddy defense early.
Kaleb Scott, you can tell he was ready to rise up. Kind of had that look on his face once he came back down. First one for him is good. Kaleb transferred in from Georgia State. He spent 3 years there. It's in his 2nd year here at PC. 3 years playing at Georgia State, I should say. 4 years there overall. Both of his free throws good there. That's been maybe the only weakness in his game.
I was going to just mention that, Brett. That, there's one thing that Mr. Scott struggles with. It's from the line. Didn't look like it there, but he has had his struggles this year with that. One of the things, his hands are so big. That can be problematic trying to shoot the ball.
Man, graduate student going at the true freshman, Iverson King.
Excellent low post defense by King. Very good defender.
Richards, good ball handler as a big man. He puts it on the floor, gets caught in between, and gets the friendly roll. Finally, a layup that has the rim on their side for the running Bulldogs.
Nice finish by Richards.
Another one of these old guys here for Gardner-Webb, a redshirt senior from Brooklyn, New York. Iverson. He has to get it out. Both of these lineups have 1 freshman, and Hudson and King. Kobe! Oh, my. Mr. Stewart coming a little different here on senior day as he's going to go to the line.
I'm waiting on something like that. We'll pick it up a little bit. Nice move, Stewart, using that length and athleticism. Ability to get off the floor.
Been playing Mob Deep, the shook ones right now. I think that might have shook everybody here.
Yeah. Wake up, wake up. Time to hoop, right? Stewart, you got to respect him, man. He's just spent so much time in the gym. You can tell every time we do a PC game, I talk about, as you see the replay there, almost poked on him. And I just talk about how much he obviously has gotten in the gym and worked on his shot. When he was, 5 years ago when he came in here, he looked like a slingshot. Didn't look terrible, but there was no rotation on the ball. And he just kept working on it. I don't know when that turned around, but now he's become a very reliable shooter and makes big shots, too.
Race Kerr just checked into the ball game, as well as Shahar Lazar for the Gardner-Webb Running Bulldogs. The Blue Hose leading here over the Running Bulldogs early, 8-4. He's just joining us on ESPN+. We invite you to come on in and stay a while on the final day of the Big South regular season. Daryl Simmons, he is being sandwiched by a couple of Blue Hose defenders every time he touches it. A tie-up, never called. And then Iverson King gets knocked down in the front court by Anthony Selden, and a foul called on Selden.
Tell you what, I like the game plan early for the Blue Hose. They are really smothering Simmons anywhere he's got the ball, especially near the timeline. Using that trap. First off, you have to have a guy who can contain the dribble, and that is Minson. You rarely get to see him get beat off the dribble, so he's containing, and then they bring the other guy over. One of the very rare situations you won't see a tie-up called in that situation. I guess the ref thought he never got his hand on it long enough.
Well, Jacob Hudson took a seat there for just a moment. Let's put him back out there. Jeremy Luther. Good season for him, first year at the helm. Has head coaching experience. But again, this is first Division I job. Kaleb Scott splits a couple of them. And again, the big man just being so aggressive down low, going to continue to make trips to the line all afternoon.
Strong enough to bust through that double team, and then you're at his mercy. Didn't think we were going to get that call.
This game, depending on some other outcomes today, is going to be at 7 or 8, and that's a big-time difference. You're that 8 seed, you got to play in that 8-9 game, and if you're the 7 seed, you don't have to play.
And rest is important this time of year, even for college athletes. And so Scott missing that one. But yeah, if you have to play an extra day, and the guys at the top, especially High Point, they're off today, and they have a bye now. The rust may set in a little bit. You can make that argument, but you'd rather have that rest than have to play so many games as Scott comes out with it.
Some may argue with many of the big guns that High Point has, that the rest may not bother them that much. We shall see. It's going to be exciting. March the 5th through the 9th in Johnson City, Tennessee. The Big South Tournament coming up next week. Is this a nice bucket from the freshman Jacob Hudson? He gets one more at the line.
It was a nice bucket. It seemed like the defenders from Presbyterian went up and didn't really try to block the shot. They went up with their bodies. I don't know. Maybe we can see that again. Watch this. You see it just kind of jumped and... Well, King made a swipe at it, but Harvey kind of tried to jump back, like, and not really try to block that.
That's
shot.
Who they got. They got Jamar Harvey on the foul there.
Yeah. Nonetheless, nice finishing the three, the old hard way.
Brendan Micalcio, by the way, is also checked in for guard. So many upperclassmen here on this team. Obviously, Coach Luther's helped recruit a line of them. Here in his 12th year overall in the program. Kobe almost got caught in the trap. Harvey. Hudson will push it up. And the freshman getting a lot of touches here. His usage rate is pretty high in the first 5 minutes of the ball game. Denial and a steal from Toby Stewart. Kaleb, another big man bucket from Mr. Scott.
There it was, muscle bucket over the 6'10" player.
Lazar tries to go coast to coast. Iverson King got a piece of that.
I think he did. I think he got a little piece. Good D. 2 times in a row by the Blue Hose.
Corey Mincy just wants to settle in at his half-court set. Been a lot of patience thus far from here, Coach Farrell's squad.
I think before too long, you'll see Presbyterian, it's a 3-ball miss there by Stewart. Presbyterian will probably post Mincy with Simmons Gardner.
Simmons quickly back down, hand in the face. That was a good contest from Jamari Harvey. Iverson King goes flying. Offensive board from Daryl Simmons. Lazar. Nice up and under there.
Yeah, excellent extension by Lazar on that finish.
Israel native, transferred in from New Mexico State. Second year here as a running Bulldog. Gardner-Webb on a mini run right now. Neither team has really settled in from the field. Been a plethora of fouls as Lazar gets the steal. 3-on-1 break. DS2 adds 2 more here for Gardner-Webb in a tie ball game.
Simmons utilizing that explosive ability around the rim. A nice contest by Mincy. Simmons knocked it home.
Finally finding the flow of the game, it seems like, from both sides. Couple big screens. Kaleb Scott with a big-time jam.
Nice find by Mincy. Emphatic finish by Kaleb Scott.
Kaleb Scott, I think he knows this senior day, KB, the way he's coming out.
He's getting it done.
Tough defense here from PC. Again, trying to trap everything around these wings. Using Richards at the top. And a travel violation call.
That's excellent low post defense by Scott. Stood his ground, stayed vertical, kept that strong base, and Richards didn't do anything with it. That situation, I don't know if Richards has it in him. We see the replay from the other end. Watch this nice pass, find by Mincy. Running that little figure 8, but anyway, Richards, if somebody's playing and you're going against a guy that's 2 inches shorter, but he's strong, just pull up and shoot that little shot. You know, you can use one hand if you're that big, 6'10", you know.
Anthony Self back in the ball game. Daryl Simmons knocks it off of Corey Mincy. Corey's arguing that he had him around the hip.
Yep. That's exactly what he said. We talked about that matchup, Mincy and Simmons.
I mean, 2 guys that are just defensive menaces. That's what you got here from Daryl Simmons.
Very capable offensively, too, as well.
They're both top 10 in the conference in scoring. Hudson
hopped a little bit. Oh, he stepped on the line. I'm sorry.
Caught his back heel on the sideline. Tell you what, for this guy, not only to earn himself into the starting lineup, but big-time minutes as a freshman, Jacob Hudson. I mean, he is just one of the very few underclassmen on this team, and he's found himself in a rotation made up full of upperclassmen.
He's from H-Town, bro. You know, they don't play in Houston.
Houston, Texas native again. Averaging 4 points a ball game here in his freshman season. Carl Parrish is also checked in here for PC. Kobe!
Oh,
Parrish it down here in the Templeton Center.
Another nice pass from Mincy and an emphatic alley-oop finish from Mr. Stewart.
It's a boom sense right now here in Clinton. See if Gardner-Webb can get in on the activity. Good on-ball defense from Corey Mincy. Coach Farrell's told us all year, thinks he's one of the best in the whole country. Hudson almost got caught on that pivot foot. Macalcio, nice bucket, the first one for him today.
Macalcio said, I'll just stop all this for a minute with this little quick flip. Get the ball up too high. He can't get it. Good job.
It's something that Gardner-Webb does really, really well, is shooting the 3-ball. Again, 33% on the year, but they've really heated up here lately. See if they try to go back to that. Jalen Peterson tries to tip the miss to himself. A tie-up. Possession arrow does favor PC, so they'll have the possession on the other side. We got some athleticism. We got some big booms. Maybe we're going to have some.
6'8", decent ups, strong hands. Plays very strong around the basket. I tell you what, 8 and in, that kid is really tough. He's tough from 12 and in, but 8 and in, his stock really rises.
Hugh Petaway's checked into the ball game now.
There's another high flyer right there.
Jalen Peterson can't convert. Offensive rebound. from Kaleb Scott. Old school hook shot, no good, and Jermaine Mann rips it away.
Petaway in now at the lead guard spot for Presbyterian. Another very good on-ball defender. See slowing down Simmons there in transition.
Foul called on Carl Parrish.
A little cheeky there. Parrish.
There's been a lot of aggressive screens and hand checking already. KB, do you think it's a situation where they just want to rein it in before it gets a little too aggressive?
I think you're right on it. Yeah. Make sure that they know that they're not going to be able to get away. Well, I think different crews call it different ways.
Also just checking back in, Iverson King. Lazar, one of the quickest players on the floor. Throws it to nobody.
That is wires crossed up there with his teammate.
Yeah, going back up the floor. Always like to see that. Jahar took the responsibility and said, that's on me.
Very well in that zone. Second time today.
Hughes got two on him.
The ball very well there. From the perimeter.
Kobe, a little Euro step through the lane as he adds two more to his scoring line. Now 8 points for the fifth year.
The truth of it is he's one of the most complete players in this league. There's no question about it. There's not much on the court that he doesn't do very well.
Selden. Mention Anthony is a graduate student.
Got a tip away there. That was Stewart.
Lazar. Blocking foul.
Stewart tipped that ball away from Selden there. I give him a steal on it. The ball was turned over. He had the deflection.
Second for Kobe, by the way.
Yeah. Both ends, just a very complete player. It's a good story to see. Yep, that was his tip away. I don't think Selden lost it. Lazar had to Parrish.
By the way, the big man, Isaiah Richards, just checked back in here for Gardner-Webb. That's major. Gardner-Webb has been playing without a true five for probably about the last 5 minutes of game time.
Back to a man-to-man as well.
Get around this high ball screen, Petaway.
Richards might have got away with one there.
Carl, he's got to shoot it. Two. Puts it up over Lazar, gets it to go. Carl Parrish almost touched the ceiling with that floater.
From a guy who would start a lot of teams in this league and really score the ball.
Carl's really heated up of late. Back-to-back double-figure games, man. Foul on the way up. As Quentin Farrell immediately launches into a coaching moment with his freshman. Look at this between Jalen Peterson and Iverson King.
Teaching points.
Coach Farrell has a strong relationship with each of these guys. I think when you look at this roster up and down, obviously you have transfers on this roster, but a lot of these guys Coach Farrell got right out of high school, and that's because he's able to, he still does a lot of recruiting as well, and he has a very strong relationship with a lot of these guys, and obviously you see a lot of these teaching moments he'll have as well. And speaking of Jeremy Luther and Gardner-Webb on this side, Jermaine Mann and Anthony Selden, again, we're at Gardner-Webb, both transferred away to different places, and now they've come back for their graduate years back in a Bulldogs uniform. It kind of speaks to both programs, the culture that both of these guys have.
And it speaks to the league as well, I think. Yeah, I'll come back and play in the Big South, absolutely.
You know, that's something KB is a second one real good. We were talking about pregame, how good this conference has been this year, top to bottom.
Very good basketball.
And again, two teams just kind of settled into the middle pack here this afternoon, but could make a lot of noise next week in Johnson City in the tournament. Petaway. Quickly up. Dale Simmons a second. Maybe rush that one a little bit as Iverson King gets the ball.
Big time rebound by King in traffic.
Parrish behind the back. As Richards and Kobe Stewart get tangled up. Foul called on Kobe. Kobe is sitting over here screen left trying to figure out what he did wrong right there.
Richards kind of threw him off. They got tangled.
Yeah, I think that's
just a loose ball situation. They both had their hand on the ball. Let's watch this. Both going for the ball. Yeah, maybe hanging on that arm is what he called. Ref saw a little more than I did on that one, to be honest.
And the two guys that have been around this league for quite some time. Just being very aggressive there on the boards. Kobe taking his first seat of the afternoon. Obviously, next media timeout not too far away, so trying to give him as much time to sit as possible. Man.
Great job by Peterson to keep his feet.
Jermaine. Oh, yeah.
That's a great bucket by Mann, because that's one of the best contests that you'll come up against. And Jalen Peterson, who played great defense the entire sequence, Mann just made a tough shot.
Mann has made a couple of shots today to just kind of make you jaw jump to the ground, KB. Nice fade away that time. This slapped away by the freshman Hudson. I got to protect my main man, Kevin Nix, over here from getting hit in the face. Again, offense may seem at a premium. We got a good ball game on our hands, though. PC has held the lead the entire time. Scott and Kobe Stewart have combined for 17 of the 19 points for the Blue Hose thus far, KB.
Yeah, and I tell you what, it's kind of refreshing to see some teams kind of returning to play inside-out basketball. PC's elected to get those paint touches with Kaleb Stewart. And we'll see Peterson here in a moment as well, I'm sure.
Freshman Tristan Wilson has made his debut in this ball game. Corey Mincy, notice the shot clock was low. And hit the side of the backboard.
That time kind of jumped up on Corey on that one.
To be fair, I think it jumped up on all of them.
Yeah, I had no idea it was that late in the shot clock myself.
Obviously, I don't think it was a fresh 30 out of that timeout. Nonetheless, Blue Hose still lead it by 3. The turnover battle is one to watch as well. 6 turnovers to 3. Their Gardner Webb leads the category you don't want to lead in. As Peterson, active hands, knocks it over here. They are Kobe Stewart's man. Gardner Webb, we mentioned it. Team that played a lot of inside-out basketball. So much so, Kim Blankenship, they have not even attempted a three-point.
No, have not. Not yet. I noticed Corey Mincy has not taken a shot yet.
Will Simmons.
Rebound by Wolf. Rebounding out of his area.
And maybe playing a little bit above the expectations set on him as a freshman. Really had a solid year and somebody to build on for the future. Scott, another double team. Finds a way to get it out. A bullet to Jamari. Got it.
You've got to find fantastic shooter, Jamari Harden, no question.
All 3 seniors now for the Blue Hose to put it through the nylon. Harvey, Scott, and Kobe Stewart. Speaking of Kobe, he's going to step back to the table. Peterson calling for the grab. Nice pass, though, on this end that Jamari Harvey gave.
Yeah, no doubt.
Iverson King back in the ball game now, as well as Kobe Stewart.
Yeah, Scott's got those big, strong hands. He had to push through that double team to find some kind of window to throw that ball. And he did. He found Harvey. Had just enough time to let that one go.
Swinging around the perimeter and find the open guy. Selden beats Stewart to the point. Nice bucket from Anthony Selden.
Nice bucket by Selden over a very good contest from Stewart.
And from Boston, Massachusetts. The last name sounds familiar. It's because it is. Big bro was Wayne Selden Jr., All-American at Kansas about a decade ago. Iverson, that's a freshman right there going up against a 5th year.
Yeah, nice bucket there on the baseline by the young guy.
6-point lead now at 24-18, the biggest of the ball game. Selden, first 3 taken today off, but Gardner Webb gets it back. Selden, contact down low. Yeah, Corey Mincy's calling him a foul, got him on the arm.
On just that possession, Mincy had 2 deflections, and on the 3rd when he deflected it too, they may have come across his arm. The active hands. See this.
First deflection.
Yeah.
Selden was able to get it back. A lot of contact between he and Kaleb Scott, but both were going straight up. Corey got him on the arm, which is where the foul came. Selden converts both of them at the line. Jeremy Luther has been very vocal today. Not necessarily talking to the officials, but talking to his guys. A lot of coaching moments he's had him his first year at the Hill. Offensive foul called now on the Blue Hole.
King, I believe.
Iverson King.
Didn't get set, I believe. And once he did, he moved.
Chicken winged out with the
yeah,
elbow.
that's good officiating. He asked the ref, what did I do? And the ref showed him exactly what he did. Moved over late. You know, to get set.
Jalen Peterson back in the ball game.
Right now, Mincy has done an excellent job on the ever-dangerous Simmons so far.
It seems like a lower scoring ball game. It was the first time these two teams played as well. When the Bulldogs won 63-61 in Bowling Springs, North Carolina.
Strength versus length here.
Jermaine gets denied by JP.
Length won out in that situation.
The second leading blocker in the Big South gets number one today.
Stayed with the play, stayed vertical. Kept it long reach up. Nice block there by Peterson. 5
seconds on the shot clock here on the inbound. Got to find something quick for Gardner left. Simmons gets it off over Peterson. Richards rips away the board.
Nice job by Harvey. Somebody needs to let that go. We just need to let go of the ball. And there we go.
Jump ball possession arrow favors the Bulldogs. It's always good though.
Trust me, I wouldn't want to either.
Both guys sharing a smile, by the way, too.
But in most of those situations, I'm not going to be the physically bigger man, you know. So I'd choose the metaphorically bigger man, right? Heard that whistle, I'm like, okay.
Kim Blankenship. Everybody knows he's 6'5".
Yeah.
Sitting over here to my right. I'm Brett Lawson.
Let's keep it like that. That's right.
You played the three back in the
Yeah, that was cool.
Selden goes up and under over Peterson that time.
That was a great look at how to utilize the rim as your friend. Kept the shot blocker at bay because he took it to the other side of the rim. That was a beautiful bucket.
Selden now with 6 points in the ball game. Nobody in double figures yet. Kobe changes that. Mr. Stewart now with 11 points and the first three-pointer made for him. Harvey. He got obliterated off the screen from Richards. Calcio thought about it a little bit too long. Simmons down on the floor. Jump ball. This time the arrow is in favor of the Blue Hose, and they will possess it on the other side. 5-point lead for BC. It may seem low scoring. It's just plus. Kim Blankenship. These two teams both shooting over 50% thus far, but the scoreboard barely even have 45 points combined. Why is that?
That's a tough D. It really is. Forcing them late into the shot clock, and some guys, the buckets that have been made in pretty spectacular fashion. It was a little bit of a lazy pass there by Stewart. Three and Mike could have grabbed that. Couldn't quite get there, good man.
Cross court to Harvey. Kobe.
All his own.
Harvey, that's his spot. Kaleb Scott, another rebound. Third chance bucket, not to be.
A tough make over Richards at 6'10" with a decent contest, but he is capable.
Selden downhill, couldn't finish over Peterson.
A little bit of a nip there by Peterson, I believe, Brett.
See if JP gets credit for his second block of the ball game. Mincy, dump off. Kaleb Scott finishes with the finesse.
Surprised he didn't hammer it, but he did make it. That's all you want. Once again, Mincy instigating that, beating the double team, dribbling out of it, and then creating the numbers in Presbyterian's favor. Got him the easy look.
His arm to the guy to make some stuff shake out today when he throws baseline. Gets flagged up on the screen. Lazar. Now he's going to go to the charity stripe.
Lazar kind of hard to guard because he's pretty good with both hands.
And again, really able to differentiate his speed. Guys who can really get downhill really quick. Shahar Lazar, 50, 40, 90 guy this year. I mean, one of the best shooters in all of the Big South. He makes his first. Coach Farrell, as they always talk about. Coach is always coach. He's always talking to Corey Mincy, whether he's right by him or across the floor during the free throws. And I asked him, I said, why are you always talking to Corey? I mean, I get it. You're going to talk to different players every coach says, but why specifically Corey? He goes, I played point guard, Brett. I always have to remind my point guard of some things.
I was going to say, did he answer you by saying, are you serious?
Jalen Peterson, are you serious?
Oh, my. They're going to keep doing that if Gardner-Webb keeps doing what they're doing defensively. There's the soft spot in what Gardner-Webb is doing defensively on that baseline.
Race her. And the foot was out of bounds on Daryl Simmons the second. Yep. Ken Blankenship. Corey Mincy is playing some unreal defense right now.
It's an absolute teaching tape on how to guard a one guard in this league, or in any league for that matter, what Corey Mincy has done so far. We know how good Simmons is. It's a good look at the sky finish by Peterson. Pass from Mincy, of course. Now, Mincy has been an absolute teaching tape on how to guard a lead guard.
Stewart denied by Race her.
Great block by her.
Selden, offensive foul.
Excellent job. Excellent transition defense. Jamari Harden. See, that's why I think both of these teams are going to be a problem in the tournament, especially Presbyterian. He's got 3, as you're pointing out. That's great defense transition because Presbyterian has these 4 or 5 guards who can really get after you defensively and get it done defensively, but also can score the ball and shoot the ball from deep. And they're good off the bounce, too.
Speaking of those guards, Mincy and Harvey, only 2 true guards out there right now. 3 forwards of Stewart, Scott, and Peterson. It's Jamari Harvey able to come off the flare screen and get him another bucket.
Case in point.
Jamari having a nice start to his senior day with 5 points.
Here's another thing about Presbyterian defensively, and I don't want to paint the picture that they're perfect, but their big man like Kaleb Scott, when they have to switch out on the perimeter, they do a good job, he and Peterson, of moving their feet on the perimeter.
5 to shoot. Daryl Simmons, step back. Corey Mincy was there. Oh my, Jamari Harvey!
And they're lengthy. Did I mention that?
He sent that one back to North Carolina.
And they're lengthy.
My goodness.
I mean, that's Mincy forces a very capable offensive player into what is basically a bailout shot for his team. It doesn't get real close. Somebody else has a tip, but here comes the long arm of the Presbyterian law, if you will, and knocks it into next week.
Man, foul. As it was away from the ball, I believe, on Jalen Peterson. Be the 19th foul on PC. So 1-on-1 opportunity here at the line. Talking about those coaching moments, Coach Luther over here talking to his freshman point guard and Jacob Hudson. Now 2-for-1 opportunity here, KB, for the Blue Hole.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's kind of danger time a little bit for Gardner-Webb. Somebody else is building against a pretty good, decent team.
They haven't made a bucket in over 3 minutes of game time. Almost 4. Stewart has it ping-ponged around back to him. Mincy, 5 to shoot. Corey, fade away. Couple of guys collide. It's the point guard, Hudson, but Mincy comes back up. JP,
Oh, no.
don't do it to him again.
You're not getting that one. You're not getting that one if you ain't 14 in blue.
Oh, what a
Look at that. Oh, you
JP
kidding me?
sends it back.
Are you kidding me?
Jamari Harvey from 25.
No way, that wasn't going to go in.
The Templeton Center is buzzing.
I have never in my life. That is the greatest 30-second stretch. I think the freshman for Hudson is going to be a big key in the second half here at Gardner-Webb. He seems to have a lot of ability. And if they can maybe get he or Simmons going, maybe they can do something. Because you're going to get strong play out of Man and Selden. They're going to be strong around the rim. But can you generate some shots, maybe even on the perimeter?
There's the first. Can't get it to fall down. And Kobe Stewart goes up amongst two Bulldogs and gets it. Again, leading scorers thus far, Kobe Stewart with 11. Kaleb Scott also has 11. Both of the Blue Hose, 6 points for Anthony Selden, leading all Bulldogs.
I actually read Coach Luther's halftime notes. That's why I knew he was going to run that one to Simmons, right? Trying to get him going.
Corey Mincy, that's a guy to get going. As Selden called for a loose ball foul.
Coach Stewart in the back a little bit on that rebound attempt.
That's just the second shot that Corey Mincy has put up there.
Yeah. He is a scoring lead guard. There's no question. Tied for the team league, I believe.
That's important because Anthony Selden has to take a seat. That's foul number 4 on him. And we are, 38 seconds into the second half. Corey Mincy didn't get that one to fall either. Hudson, there's the freshman wide open. And convert. Collision, Iverson King able to track it down.
Nice job by Iverson securing that for his team. And Lazar going at it. Now they like Stewart posting Simmons. Richard doing a good job of hedging over.
Backdoor to Kobe. Lazar, hand in his cookie jar. Kobe gets the bunny.
Nice job. Stayed with the play. Stayed active in the play.
Richard, we've seen him put the ball on the floor a lot there. Backdoor to Lazar. That's exactly where Gardner-Webb wants to live. Shahar Lazar has been able to beat a lot of guys on foot.
Maybe try to get Lazar. It's just a little bit of a defensive lapse here by Presbyterian.
Jermaine Mann, by the way, keeps grasping at that right shoulder. That's something to look out for as well for Gardner-Webb. Had a couple of grimaces after some collisions and rebounds today. Goes up, denies it with his left hand that time. And Steele's grasping at that shoulder. Jermaine Mann goes over by the table. It'll be Gardner-Webb basketball. He barely even, he is
like the wings down.
Yeah. He can't even hardly grab the basketball.
Staying out there. I think he's trying to hide it from the coaching staff because he wants to play. Maybe I'm sure they know. I think.
Racer back in the ball game. Simmons, another one of those high floaters, can't convert.
Definitely coming out assertive this Simmons.
Again, averages just a hair under 18 points in the ball game. Kaleb Scott. That's where he wants to live. Wanted some contacts on the way up. He'll still add 2 more to the BC lead.
Set up again by Mincy.
Mentioned Corey today hadn't scored. He has 7 assists. Still has impacted the ball game on offense.
Should have 8 now. He had 7 at half.
That's correct, Ken Blankenship. Jermaine Mann, he's now calling for a sub after that last shot. Just looked over at the sideline.
He's in pain.
You hate to see a guy that good in that much pain. As, Kaleb Scott continues to inflict his pain on the Gardner-Webb defense.
Even with 2 good shoulders, I don't know that he's getting that one. Scott showing a lot of muscle moxie here.
18-point lead, the biggest of the ball game, and a blocking foul called on Kobe. Mr. Stewart, that's his second of the ball game. Turn and burn.
Yeah. Big hands, just
Meat cleavers, man. Main man, you see him talking to the athletic trainer towards the top of your screen. Yeah. You stepped over the floor. Yeah, you want to see him come back in. You hate to see this for a graduate student.
looking for a career, be a trainer. Always in need. Ooh, lucky, I was going to say, he's lucky he didn't get one of those. Sorry. Kind of had him bugged out there.
Fired up about that call. Kobe, rather upset about it. Picked up 2 quick fouls, 3 personal fouls on him today. Carl Parrish goes to the table. He's going to give Kobe a little bit of breath. Calcio gets it to Simmons. Simmons finally gets a step and gets a bucket to go with it.
Yeah, that could be big for Gardner-Webb. They want to get back in this game. Get Simmons going. You know, it's a tried and true axiom in the game of basketball. You can't get anything going from wherever. Take the ball to the basket. That's what Simmons is doing now.
You know what I love most about this play? Kaleb Scott, who we mentioned has spent many years in college basketball. He had a coaching moment on the floor with his sophomore point guard there in Corey Mincy. Simmons makes the free throw. And then he immediately looked over at Coach Farrell at the bench and said, that's my fault. I should have switched. Leadership, again, on both of these two squads. We talk about the veteran leadership on the floor. Obviously, the leadership on the sidelines with Coach Luther and Coach Farrell could really take both of these teams farther than many may expect in the tournament. As Lazard, little hand checking back on this end, and he'll get called.
Little bump and run there.
What you know about bump and run?
Your baby.
We get down. Parrish thought about it. Oh, nice cross. Game. Simmons, again, he's starting to put his foot on the gas pedal a little bit. Looking up the scoreboard, you see why. Down by 15 are the running Bulldogs. It's going to be a little bit more than a run, a sprint here in the second half. Richards turns the corner and goes up and under with it.
Finish on the other side, utilizing that length.
Again, big difference also. We're looking at the shooting numbers today. Gardner-Webb shooting just over 40%. PC shooting well over 50% thus far. Corey Mincy knocked down to the floor and then a tie-up forced. As it'll stay down here with the Blue Hawks.
Odd-looking play.
A very odd-looking play, as that'll take us to our first time out here in the second here for the running Bulldogs. That's a really good sign of things to see. Obviously, a mini run right now. We mentioned for Gardner-Webb, as they've scored 7 out of the last 9 points that have been scored in the ball game. 7-2 run for the running Bulldogs.
Icy hot over there or something? I'm not sure what the trainer was using.
Kaleb Scott wrestles it away from Hudson and then powers over the top of Richards.
Kind of caught him napping a little bit.
Hudson sprints into the front court, goes out of bounds and went off of Jamari Harvey. Good sportsmanship by Mincy to help up Hudson.
Yep. Hudson just lost his balance there. Stumbled to the floor. He's all right. A little floor burn, I think. Right knee.
Simmons again continuing to face a double team. Man.
Walked on that, I'm sure.
Travel violation call. Still clutching at that right shoulder. Jeremy Luther's arguing that he was bobbling the ball. He did not like the call, nonetheless. Blue Hose basketball. King, now he faces the double. Step back, and Richards again another big man board down low. Hudson, athletic play to just keep that one in bounds.
Yeah.
Czar, talk about his quickness. There it is again for 2 more.
Sneaky quick. Nice bucket by Lazar, utilizing the rim.
Again, a 50-40-90 guy on the air in his shooting splits, but again, has gotten downhill a lot today and scored a lot of his buckets from inside the painted area. Mincy, a fastball. Carl Parrish. And convert Richards, another nice rebound.
Absolutely. We called for him to be a little bit more of a presence around the rim. He's certainly done that early here in the second half.
Simmons, man, and a whistle. Kaleb Scott called for the foul.
Scott was incredulous. Thought he just ripped it away from Man. Man was going down and falling down. Scott was right there. He got his arm. Man went back at him.
It's the first one on Kaleb Scott, yeah.
Calcio back there.
Jermaine is still dealing with some pain. So he's going to take the seat again, like you said, Calcio back in. Peterson, Petaway, and Stewart all back in the ball game now for Blue Hook. Richards, again, just beat Peterson to the spot, and he adds two more. Isaiah Richards powering the Bulldogs right now on both ends.
They ran a nice out-of-bounds play. Presbyterian got caught. And if I'm Richards, I'm dunking that ball. It's a nice lay-in, but I'm cramming that at 6'10", making sure nobody gets that.
Steal some momentum back, maybe, Gardner Webb. Q Petaway. Bingo.
Good ball movement by the Blue Hose, creating that opportunity.
Bulldogs nowhere near as patient as they were in the first half. Richards bullying his way down low to the cup, and one!
Richards having a nice moment or two here. Second half for the Bulldogs. And surprisingly, has not dunked any of those.
Richards and Peterson, they had a word or two after this.
Showing a nice touch around the rim there.
Look at Jalen. Coach Luther came all the way out on the floor to the volleyball line. That red volleyball line right there. Coach Luther was telling Richards, hey, man, stop tossing.
Play the game.
Kaleb Scott, the reinforcer, checking back into the ball again. And you've seen the sidelines today, and they've been chirping at the opponent all afternoon. These two teams, again, they played earlier this year. Very close ball game, 63-61. They went in favor of Gardner Webb. That was back in the second game of conference play. They hadn't seen each other in a while. This one tipped down, and then Luther ends up with it on the sideline. Coach Luther.
Richards has a nice release on his shot. He's got an outstanding shot for a 6'10" guy. Soft deliveries around the rim as well.
Simmons on the inbound play. Petaway and Mincy on the floor. You don't see that a whole lot.
Right. That's exactly right.
Lazar can't finish. McCalcy will try to get the stick back. Ends up with Lazar. Hudson puts it on his hip. Kobe Stewart.
In traffic.
One-handed grab.
Euro by Hudson couldn't get it to go.
Couple of important misses there.
Fearless freshman.
Kobe. Now the sophomore Daryl Simmons brings it up. You got to get him going here, the Bulldogs. Lazar. Another scoop, can't score.
Strong rebound there as well. Lazar loves that baseline. They finally got hip to him. Cut him off.
Corey Mincy working out directions. Against Macalcio. Couple of crossover step back. Oh, Corey! Kobe, the step back. And a whistle as the basketball rolled towards the PC logo at half court.
You want to learn to crossover dribble, do you? You better watch that sequence again.
Look at this.
It kind of fell awkwardly a little bit too. Kobe Stewart right there.
Yeah, and a good no calling, by the way, KG. Richards did a good job of backing up on it. 51-37 the score, up by 14. The largest lead is 18 on the afternoon for the Blue Hawks. Macalcio, an offensive foul call. Race, no, not on Racer. Yeah, it was on Ray Surf. Thank you. It was on Ray Surf. Just kind of a continuation of that final 10 minutes of the first half.
I wasn't rough enough growing up to be hanging out with you. I wasn't rough.
What do you mean?
You were rough. You were very rough and tough.
No, I played a little football. Scrape the knees up every once in a while. Not too much. They've been rough down low today. The big man had been scrapping at it. You can see that in our Sure Pro Painter points in the paint coming up. As Corey Mincy foul, he'll go to the free throw line. They got the foul on Daryl Simmons. Yeah. And those two have locked the other one up today.
Yeah. Mincy hasn't really asserted himself offensively to score the ball himself. He was having a really good game assist-wise. Probably at about 9, I would think.
That is his first point of the day.
It sure is.
He has 8 assists.
And he averages 15 a game.
Yeah. Him and Kobe scored both average 15 a game. Kobe is at that mark. Kaleb Scott with 17 points. Daryl Simmons is second, 2 for 10 from the field thus far with 5 points. Now some full court pressure. By the way, Anthony Selden back in this ball game. He has 4 fouls. So he's going to have to play very conservative over the final 11 and a half minutes. Selden right there top of the key. The pull over. Matchup earlier this season. 2-point win for the Bulldogs. There's some big South Conference tournament implications in this one. Selden wide open. Gardner Webb has still not made a three-pointer today as Carl Parrish is called for a loose ball foul. Been some more whistles, maybe some regulatory whistles here in the second half. A lot of aggressive play we've seen in the first half, especially between these two. Richards and Scott been battling in the paint. Richards not one to stretch it out. The wreck traffic outside. Simmons finally gets that shot to go. That's where he likes to live. Now just 3 for 11.
Found a little bit of space away from 4 and blue to get that jump shot on.
The defensive clinic has been displayed from both of those guys today. As you mentioned, Mincy's been doing a lot more on the assist side with Aiden. It's been a forward-heavy show. Mincy turns the corner this time, and maybe Corey wants to get a few buckets.
Mincy's very capable offensively. He will utilize his size advantage over Simmons most of the time in that situation.
Selden. Spin through. Selden out of control. Gets the bucket, though.
Kaleb Scott, he was just standing there. I don't see much there. Kind of wrong place, wrong time. There's Kaleb Scott. Selden feeling that energy, going toward the basket. Shot it to him. Makes the bucket of this free throw as well.
Neither one of these guys will set down with a win. Obviously, it's major. PC will have the 5 seed in the Big South tournament. Gardner Webb with the 6 seed. The loser will be 7 or 8. As this one sit back, McCalcio and Hudson both had a hand on it. Selden, the Euro. Carl Parrish denies it. Get his foot on the baseline, so it'll still be Bulldogs basketball. Look at that defensive display on 18.
Talk about the wing. Especially for the Blue Hose. Pierce back in.
Maybe, I don't know what that hit the baseline. Selden had touched it last, and then after it was already out of bounds, then Parrish touched it. That'll be something to look at. Simmons can't sink the three.
One of the best looks he's had.
Yeah.
Hasn't had many.
Best scores in the conference. He held at bay right there. 9.5 minutes to get going. 13-point deficit he and his running Bulldogs have to overcome. Digits on the shot clock.
Great job defensively defending the low post.
Kobe turns around and
extended out.
Richards firing it in there. Simmons can't get the friendly roll.
Peterson almost took that one off the rim. He almost took that one out of the cylinder. Coach Luther thought the same.
BC is just saddling into their offense. This is what they've done the majority of the first half and now starting it again in the second half. They ran at time. They're trying to get these half-court sets. The longest two of the day. No good. Iverson King's guy for the board. Corey. And loose ball.
Good job.
Peterson was tackled. And Isaiah Richards.
I think they got Richards.
I believe he called for loose ball foul, and he is. Second look at this play.
Sees it's loose and tries to go through Peterson is what the ref saw, I guess.
Jermaine Mann checks back in. Jermaine still clutching that right shoulder of the downfield there. You see Harlow, Lazar also back in for Anthony Selden. Looking at your foul troubles thus far, Kobe Stewart, Jalen Peterson, both with 3 from BC. Selden, who we mentioned just is taking a seat, has 4 for the running Bulldogs. No other Gardner-Webb player has more than 2. Quentin Farrell telling Corey to hold. He'll mark out the play from the sideline for Coach Farrell. Corner 3, Jamari no good. Tipped out, Daryl Simmons is going to run. Hudson, oh my! The southpaw with a big-time jam.
He's going to be a player. Already very good. Got a lot in him, there's no question. It's a nice bucket in transition. Only down 11, closest they've been in a while.
2.5 minute scoring drought right now for the Blue Hole.
Get a bucket in a big way.
5 to go. Mincy didn't hit anything. He retrieved it back, but it's a shot clock violation. Jacob Hudson is on the deck right now under the hoop. He'll be helped back to his feet. And it appears we're going to have a review here.
They're saying it didn't graze, though, because if it would have reset to 14. Right.
I'll tell you what, looking at this in the middle of the screen, this is going to be interesting. Richards, Peterson, and Mincy all having a conversation. We had Richards and Peterson wish each other some well wishes the last time both of those were on the floor. 55-44 ball game. Again, big South tournament implications here. These two teams fighting to not have to play on March the 5th in the 8-9 game. Backdoor man. Gets it to go. Still hurting on that shoulder is Jermaine Mann. But cuts it back down to a single-digit deficit. Again, the Blue Hose have been scoreless now for over 3 minutes in this ball game.
Good offense by the running Bulldogs.
Peterson. Double. Peterson goes up, sit back by Richards. Mann dives for the loose ball on the bad shoulder. This could be the stretch that Gardner-Webb's looking for.
Exactly what I was thinking. They get a bucket here and it starts to get dangerous.
Simmons almost touched the half-court line. Richards. Isaiah skies up. Now 2 freebies at the charity stripe. Isaiah Richards. It would be nowhere near this close if it were not for him. He has been
played really well
for Gardner-Webb.
Had a very good second half.
See him go up. Again, just did not get the lucky bounce there. Again, Gardner-Webb, 7-0 run right now. Still trailing by 9, 55-46, making 55-47.
He has a really nice looking shot from the free throw line.
Again, Mann takes another seat. Anthony Selden, who again will remind you with 4 personal fouls, checks back in the ballgame. This cold stretch has put PC under 50% for the first time from the field since the ballgame tipped. Kaleb Scott almost upset that he had to battle in.
Got a little look on his face, man. call that the mean mug.
Kaleb Scott, the most aggressive big man, physical big man you'll ever see playing here on his senior day. He's going to have to go at Richards on this end. He's been a calling card today. He and Kobe Stewart score both in double figures thus far. Kobe with 15, Kaleb with a game high 17. Almost loses it. Rips through Kaleb Scott.
Nice bucket. Fighting through the double team by yourself and laying it in. Again, Mitzi containing 7.
Selden might have had it misguided by Jalen Peterson.
Credit Peterson, no doubt. Just as good as a block for him.
Jamari got it. Jamari Harvey, another one through the line.
Fine once again by 4 in blue, Mitzi.
Back to a 13-point lead just like that for the Blue Hole. Lazar.
Don't want to do that.
Going right at Peterson. Richards gets it back. Isaiah with another and one. Jalen Peterson called for the foul.
Got the elbow right and everything. So I'm kind of surprised there. The other thing is, I don't get the idea that Coach Luther and that staff regularly play through Richards, but he had such a nice impact here in the second half that maybe out of the next 3 or 4 offensive opportunities, you might run something through him.
By the way, he's a rebound away from having a double-double. 11 points, 9 rebounds. He's the only Bulldog that has scored in double figures. Kaleb Scott leads everybody with 19 here on senior day. Richards.
He held into that off. Knocked it away with some left. Richards agreed with the call.
His second. So he's in nothing crazy as far as it pertains to foul trouble. Kobe from the corner. Now Richards has that double-double. Again, Isaiah coming into the ball game 6th in the Big South in rebound. It's only going to go up after the day here in the regular season finale.
Here they are running something through Richards.
Size mismatch. He'll try to find the dime. Darrell can't convert. Kobe, another big man board. His 8th of the ball game.
Another decent look for Simmons. He's had a lot more open looks this half than he did in the first half.
Mincy, Euro. Oh my! Hudson touched the skies, but a foul was called.
Yeah, I think it was a good block, a really good block, but he ended up hitting him with his body after the block. So I think the ref gave Mincy the benefit of the doubt. Hudson's a big-time player.
6'2", and might have the biggest vertical in the gym. As Mincy can't get like that. Second biggest.
You're here, big guy.
Second.
You're here, big guy.
So is Jalen Peterson. That's true. And Peterson fouled out, the lone player foul out thus far. Though I think Peterson might have had the best 30 seconds of any individual performance. If you can, scroll back to the end of the first half. Maybe not right now, but you get some
later
time.
on today, right?
The final 30 seconds of that first half, Jalen Peterson, quite a performance he put on there on both ends of the floor. Again, 12-point lead now for PC. Largest lead they've had today is 18, but they had Gardner Webb at bay for most of this half. Gardner Webb got it down to 9 points. It's been the smallest that deficit has been here in the second half. Selden, another scoop and score for the graduate students.
Throws Kaleb Scott on that baseline. A little shimmy and it's gone and lays it up on the other side. Beautiful job by Selden.
Hudson,
Easy pass.
poked away. Hudson, fouled by Kobe Stewart. That's a big one. That's number 4 on Kobe. Jacob Hudson will try to cut it down to 8 with 2 opportunities at the line on the other side. Anthony Selden, by the way, has 4 fouls. Kobe Stewart has 4 fouls out there for the Blue Hose. He's joined by Jamari Harvey, Kaleb Scott, the 3 seniors here on senior day, Corey Mincy, and Iverson King. So again, the winner of this ball game, if it's BC, they will have the 5 seed in the Big South Conference tournament. Gardner Webb, they'll have the 6 seed. Loser of this game will either have the 7th or the 8th seed in the Big South Conference tournament, depending on some other outcomes of the day. So again, 7 seed still not that big of a difference. We're still playing, again, when everybody else plays other than the 8-9 game. To get that 8 game, you got to play the standalone play-in game on the first day of the tournament on March the 5th.
Well done.
He's Kim Blankenship. I'm Brent Lawson. Big Sound Luke here on ESPN Plus. 9-point deficit for the Bulldogs. That is the lowest it's been in the second half at any point.
Well, that's cutting off the dangerous score. Big moment, low in the shot clock.
Kamari. Sidestep, overselled, and Kaleb Scott couldn't rip it away with one hand, but Isaiah Richards had a hold of it.
Yeah, he had Kaleb Scott, you're right.
Yes, it will be a foul call on Isaiah Richards. Obviously somebody that the Bulldogs can't afford to get in foul trouble. That's number 3 on him. 1-and-1 opportunity for Kaleb Scott. He grabbed him there on his left hand. Richards didn't like the call. Kaleb Scott, game high 19 points. 4 or 5 from the free throw line. Maybe the most impressive thing that he's done today.
We had a struggle at times from the line. We mentioned that earlier. Good job.
It's another one. Kaleb Scott now with his second 20-point performance of the season. He had 22 and 14 a couple weeks back against Upstate. Now has 21 here this afternoon. Most importantly, 11-point lead. Corey Mincy says, look what I found. He hustles into the front court and then resettles it back in.
Just an unfortunate turnover by the Bulldogs. Not really a forced turnover either.
Let's see. Kaleb Scott. A lot of contact. Even Richards was looking for a whistle.
I thought a good no call.
Through the middle. Richards, oh my, threading the needle.
He just doesn't dump the ball.
A lot of nice layups today.
Yeah, he has got a nice soft touch around there. Again, you know, it's not important that you do dunk the ball. It just surprises me that he doesn't.
Dunk today for Jacob Hudson. Normally wouldn't talk about all the dunks. Jalen Peterson and Caleb Scott, Cody Stewart had ripped the rim off a couple of times. BC won't go until 9 on the shot clock. Mincy from 27. Drano! Corey Mincy with the biggest shot of the ball game.
You had to know that at some point Mincy was going to get it going offensively. Big shot.
Mari Harvey called for the foul on this one. Now, 1-and-1 opportunity. Two shots now from Jacob Hudson. Second look at this three-pointer from Corey Mincy.
Jacob Hudson to the line. 2 shots.
Southpaw can't make the first. Jacob Hudson, a really good ball game from him. Freshman, 6 points thus far. Isaiah Richards with 13 and 11 rebounds. On the other side, 21.7 rebounds from Kaleb Scott. Can't get either one of them. Kobe Stewart with another board. He's one away from a double-double himself. 100 seconds remain during the regular season finale. BC trying to tick it off a little bit more and lock up the 5 seed in the Big South tournament. They've gotten hot, trying to win their 4th in their last 5. Scott. Much. Bulldogs going to have to run and pray to the heavens above to come back. Simmons steps back. It was a 2. Couldn't convert it anyway.
Now all you got to do is take care of the basketball. We're kind of throwing in the towel here. We're not going to foul. It doesn't look like it. He's going to give it to this end of this shot clock, Brett.
First time today, everybody putting their hands together on the Templeton Center. Jamari Harvey tipped around there by the Bulldogs. Again, just got to play out these final 3 seconds. Simmons lost it. Harvey sprints it to the front court. Jamari, what a cherry on top here on Senior Day. Jamari Harvey transferred in from UNC Wilmington. Kaleb Scott transferred in from Georgia State. Kobe's been here for 5 years. And on their Senior Day, with maybe the biggest win in their PC career, as Isaiah Richards strings a three.
Did they not have utilized that? I mean, that's a good-looking shot, Brett Loftus. A nice-looking shot from the big guy.
Nonetheless, Kobe Stewart, the captain of this ball club, the guy who's done it all. He is your staple of what old school college basketball used to be. You go to a program and you stay there. He and the Blue Hosts win it 68-57 here from the Templeton Center. And the Blue Hosts have officially locked up the 5 seed in the Big South Conference Tournament.